Okay, we will call this meeting of the Berkeley County Deputy Sheriff Civil Service Commission to order. First item on our agenda is election of president for 2025. We have a motion on that. Oh, first let's mention who we have remotely. If you could, Jim, go first and state your name.
Yep, this is Jim Moffitt, remote.
And this is Dale Buck by phone.
Okay. So do we have a motion on election of president for 2025?
I'm going to make a motion that we table that till next month, since Dale and I are both not present in the room.
Okay. We have a second?
Second. Dale Buck, second.
Okay, that motion's not open for discussion, so all those in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, it's unanimous. We'll table that until next month. Reading approval of the minutes from December 18th. Is all the commissioners had a chance to read the minutes?
Dale Buck, I have. Yes.
Yes, I have.
Is that you, Jim? Remember to state your name. I know it's...
Oh, yeah, yep. Jim Moffitt, and yes, I have.
Okay. We have a motion on the minutes.
I move, this is Dale Buck, I move we approve.
Is there a second? We have a second to approve the minutes? Did we lose you, Jim?
Yes, no, this is Jim. You have a second. My mute button wouldn't come off.
Okay.
And this is Jim Moffitt, seconding the motion.
Any discussion? None. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yep. Aye.
Aye. Okay, it's unanimous. Next item, 2024-0003, investigating test providers for Deputy Sheriff Promotional Examination Services. We have any update on that?
We
Mr.
do,
Alderton?
sir. We do. As of late today, I'd met with the county clerk, Mr. Petrucci, and he requested that I reach out to... He requested I reach out to Mr. Mozzie, Jeff Mozzie, the Deputy Legal Counsel for Berkeley County, relating to associated paperwork for the Standard and Associates test vendor that you all have approved to go with for promotional opportunities for the Sheriff's Department. He had a question about who is to be listed as the principal signer on the legal documents that Standard and Associates provided us. Mr. Mozzie said that it would have to be Clerk Petrucci would have to be the principal signer because it relates to obligating county funds. And I inquired about Steve. As president. Could he be the principal signer? And it was basically no, because Steve is not, as president, he is not a paid employee of the county, so therefore he cannot obligate county funds. So we have that taken care of. I also reached out and have spoken with Mr. Mike Thomason. He is the vice president of Standard and Associates, and that's who I've been working with the past several months to see what is our next step. Basically, and I'll do it now because Chief Burdett is in the audience for us this evening. We need to request of the Sheriff's Department to send us what materials they want test questions extracted from, such as their departmental policy manual. Do you want to send the whole manual, or do you just want to send excerpts of it? such as pursuit policy,
Oh, man.
collection of evidence, those type things. And same would be applied with West Virginia State Code. What portions of state code do you want geared towards? Be thinking about your tiers. Level 1 is for corporal and sergeant. Do you want certain questions extracted for that, as opposed to lieutenants and captains for
Yeah,
that?
but people from the other place too.
So with that being said, that's what we'll need from the sheriff's department. And Chief, you can get with me later on for clarification of what all you need to provide.
Okay.
That's no problem.
Okay.
But maybe within the next couple of weeks, we can get it. I talked to the sheriff today about that roughly, and he said he would bring it up at your all's next staff meeting. So
Could we just send an email request just so we have a paper trail?
we
of
can
what
do that.
need?
We can do that. I certainly can do that.
That would be,
And I also spoke to him, Mr. Thomason. There is a confidentiality agreement that needs to be signed by anybody affiliated with the testing, that could see the test, what have you. We talked about captains within the department. He was very uneasy about them being a part of it, because although it's in the future, maybe a year out, the position of major that they could possibly test for. So they would have inside knowledge of test questions that could be asked.
Can I ask a question on that?
Sure.
if you could come to the mic,
And
state your name.
Chief Burnett, as far as the majors, is there a chance that they appointed by the sheriff, or is that already in the civil? That's a position.
I believe,
I think if they fall under the civil service, it almost has to be a tested position.
that was my understanding when you all brought that plan before the Civil Service Commission
Okay.
back in
Does the
March.
chief fall under civil service?
Yes.
Chief deputy does?
The chief deputy falls under civil service? I'm appointed.
You were appointed, well,
Yeah, I don't think.
you all were appointed, but yet there are some aspects of that fall under the civil service. Not completely like a deputy.
We'll have to research
Can we
that.
explore that maybe?
Yeah, we'll have to research that for sure.
Okay, we will.
That's all.
Okay. So that came up today, and that's all I basically really have to offer up at this time.
Okay. Moving on to issue 2024-13, open hire process, IAW current rules and regulations. So I know I probably say this every month, but we are very close to finishing. Right now, we're just kind of fine tuning and correcting grammar errors and things like that. So we should have something out to the association and sheriff's department within the next, I would say, 30 days at most. So it's going to be a good product, I think, and I think we've considered everybody's opinions along the way. So I'm hoping it'll be something that works well for all sides. So.
I'd like to add that on the meeting you held on December 19th, the revision and update committee, there were two main focus areas that has taken a lot of discussion, and that was involving the scoring for evaluations and the points awarded for seniority. So that took quite a bit of time for discussion. So a lot of thought by all those committee members has went into this. So, and that's, I think we overcame a big hurdle last month in the
Right.
discussion of that. So now it's, as President Dobson alluded to, we're down to the fine tuning of the stuff, the cosmetics of the document. grammar, punctuation, things like that. So.
Item 2024-0024, open hire physical agility and written examination from October 26th.
Okay. As a reminder, on Tuesday, December 10th, Chief Young had sent a letter to request the removal of two names, and that was of applicant Mackenzie Duclos and applicant Riley Miller. The certified letters went out to both applicants on December 11th. Each letter contained a form for the applicants to return to our office indicating if they wanted a public hearing or to decline a public hearing. If you remember last month, I brought before you applicant Duclos did request a public hearing be held. And the commissioners set last month a meeting, a public hearing for actually tonight, January 15th at 6 p.m. and here in the chambers for the public hearing.
Yeah, but this is Jim. He withdrew, right?
That is correct. However, on Thursday, December 19th at 2024 at 12:17 p.m., applicant Duclos sent me an email to withdraw his appeal. His email read, "I'm sending this email to you because I would like to withdraw my submission of my appeal. I greatly appreciate everything and anything you have helped me with. I hope the holidays are good to you and your family. Thanks again. Very respectfully, Mackenzie Duclos." So that was on him. Additionally, applicant Riley Miller had a suspense date of no later than Monday, December 23rd, 2024 at 5 p.m. to provide us with his documentation, whether he wanted a public hearing or did not want one. As of that suspense date of Monday, December 23rd, 2024, 5 p.m., he had not replied, and it was stated in his letter that went out certified mail to him, if he failed to reply, thereby he was waiving his right to a public hearing. So, based on Duclos' email withdrawing his appeal, I recommend to you as the commissioners to make a motion to close this issue item of 2024-0024, request for open hire physical agility and written examination, reference October 26, 2024.
This is Dale Buck, and I so move.
Okay, we have a motion.
And this is Jim Moffett, and I second.
Let me call for it first. All right, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All right. So what you closed that because that related to actually the physical agility test and the open hire test. Here in a little bit, I will be making the motion or making the suggestion you make a motion to remove those two individuals from the eligibility list. So you're ready for the next
Okay,
issue.
next issue, 2024-0029, request for new open hire physical agility and written examination, reference December 14th, 2024.
Okay. For that one, the test results for the Saturday, December 14th, 2024 written examination were received via email on December 26th, 2024. Out of the 4 applicants who took the written examination, only 2 passed for a 50% pass rate. On December 26, 2024, President Dobson signed a letter addressed to Sheriff Blair titled Initial List of Eligible Candidates, RE Open Hire Entry Examination for December 14, 2024. This relates to the top 3 scores, and that letter is in your packet, of which there was only top 2 scores. So, just so you know on that. On December 27th, 2024, President Dobson signed an initial entry-level open hire notice. That letter is also in your packets of passing scores received from the West Virginia Division of Personnel. This notice is the notice that is posted to the county clerk's digital billboard outside his office. It will remain posted for public viewing until January 24th, 2025 at 5 p.m. This notice was also provided to the sheriff of Berkeley County related to both the applicants Plank and Moreland. The sheriff had requested I email their applications to Chief Burnett, who will in turn relay those applications to CID for the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office. And that was accomplished. So it's still an open item until
it's resolved.
Until it's resolved. Yes, sir.
Okay. Moving on, review of the proposed budget for 2024-25. Is there any new? Probably not much new news.
There is nothing new. The report that was included in your all's packet and the read ahead to you, it was run on 12/30/2024, which was our last business day for Berkeley County. So we're halfway through the year with this budget. The budget, it looks like we've spent 4% on postage, 4.4% on postage. Advertising, 31.6% of what we currently have. 10%, 10.3% of professional services. Actually, there was 0% spent on professional services. So the overall budget is 10.3% as of right now that has been expended. So,
okay.
The county clerk did receive an update from the council commission secretaries that the county clerk will go before the county commission to present his fiscal year 2024-2025 budget proposal.
25-26.
No, yeah, 25-26. 25, yes, sir. I stand corrected. On January 23rd at 10:45 here in the Berkeley County Commission chambers. So, any of the commissioners that can attend, it would be good to show the support for your all's budget that will go before them. And that's all I have on that at this point.
Okay, next item, 2024-0030, request to stricken remove applicant Mackenzie Duclos.
Okay, as I alluded to a few minutes ago, applicant Duclos did withdraw his appeal. Therefore, you all had set the meeting for tonight at the last meeting. So I recommend, based upon him withdrawing his appeal, that you as commissioners make a motion to close this issue item of 2024-0030 to request / stricken remove applicant Duclos.
All right, do we have a motion?
This is Jim Moffitt. We have a motion to close that.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
This is Dale Buck. You have a second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay.
Okay, but that is closed. Request to stricken issue. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, issue 2024-0031, request to stricken remove applicant Riley Miller. Do we have a motion to remove him? Move this item, close this item. We've already.
All right, this is Dale Buck.
I'll make the motion to close it. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead, Jim.
I second Dale's motion.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion carries. That item is closed. Okay, issue 2024-0032, request for new open hire physical agility and written examination in February, March of 2025. I know we've been working on dates. Do we have a date or?
Yes, sir. I'd sent the dates out to you folks to ask you looking at your calendars. The preferred date is Saturday, March 8th. That is supplied to us by the calendar lady, Miss Brandy Sullivan of the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office. And if you select March 8th, the cutoff for accepting applications would be February 26th, 2025. The other date, which is the alternate date, would be Saturday, March 1st, which would create a cutoff for accepting applications on February 19th. So it's up to you on which date. Both dates, Chief Burnett has checked with Martinsburg High School, and the track is available for testing of applicants on either date.
Okay.
All right, this is Dale Buck.
Okay.
I move March 8th.
Okay, we have a motion to use March 8th as the next open hire date. Do we have a second?
Yeah, it's Jim. I second it.
Okay, any more discussion? All those in favor, aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? Motion carries. So
And
March 8th will be the date.
And I take it one of the three of you will serve as the test proctor for the agility test and written examination.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Very good.
All right, new business, issue 2025-0001. Wow.
Yeah.
Annual report.
So West Virginia State Code 714-6 powers and duties requires the Civil Service Commission submit an annual report. That is underway. I've been working on that for a while now. This, I promise you, will be a more comprehensive annual report than ever before. Past reports have only been 2-3 pages at the most. Really hasn't contained what the state code states. And the state code says make an annual report to the county court and sheriff showing its own actions, its rules and regulations, including all exceptions thereto enforce, and the practical effects thereof, and any suggestions it may have for more of an accomplishment for the purpose of this article. Such report shall be available for public inspection 5 days after it has been delivered to the county court. In the past, one of the things that wasn't in there was all of your all's operations that you've done throughout the year. This year, I've submitted a year in review chapter in there, if you will, for you. It's more detailed. It went from basically 3 pages up to 40-some pages to capture everything. I've included some photos in there of it. And the other thing that hasn't been in the past reports, you heard it say about its rules and regulations. That has never been a part of that annual report that went to the county commissioners. So with that being said, when you add the rules and regulations, that takes it up to 71 pages. And that's where I think it's going to stop us at that point. I do make the recommendation to you that where it talks about that report being available to the public 5 days after it's been presented to the county court, I make the recommendation to you all that it be available in the civil service office within the county clerk's office. That way we keep control of it and things like that. I just think that's the prudent thing to do. I have a page in the annual report where you all sign and attest to it, and then it's presented to the county clerk for him to take to the, as he is the clerk of the court for Berkeley County. He'll take it before the county commissioners, and at that time, more than likely the sheriff will be at that meeting as well, and he gets a copy of it at the same time.
Okay, so in the code, there's no specific date, correct? That was just in our rules?
It was in our rules that it be done, I think it says January,
Okay.
and it was started in January.
Okay.
Actually, it was started in December, but
So the fact that we were not finished, I think we probably should have a motion to postpone that report for, what do you think, a month? Or
I
2
would
months?
say your final approval be given at your March meeting for the final approval,
Okay,
with it being scheduled to be at the next county commission meeting following your all's meeting.
okay. So I think we need a motion to change that rule, or
Well, this is
what do you
Dale
think,
Buck.
Dale?
I'm going to move that we extend the date until
Okay,
March to
okay,
allow the completion and the review by the commissioners.
okay. There's a motion. Do we have a second?
This is Jim Moffett. I second that.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion carries. That concludes our new business. Do we have any items from the floor?
You have anything?
I just wanted to say about that
State your name.
major.
State your name.
I just wanted to say about that major position on, as far as your point. Had to come but
Okay.
Okay.
Any announcements?
Well, yeah,
Or you got
hold
more?
on, yeah,
You got
items
another?
from the floor. For informational purposes, I did receive an email on Wednesday, January 8th, 2025 at 1:13, which it was from a Christopher Bragg. If that name sounds familiar, earlier in the year, April, May timeframe, Mr. Bragg, his email says, "My name is Christopher Bragg. I took the test for Sheriff's Department and didn't pass the polygraph, and I was told that I had to wait 2 years. I was wondering if you could tell me when my 2 years would be that I could retest. Thank you and have a good day." It should be noted that actually Mr. Bragg was sent a certified letter dated May 9th of 2024 informing him of his opportunity to request a public hearing due to his name was been recommended to be removed or stricken from the list of candidates. I did speak to him on the phone on that particular day, and he said he was not going to request a public hearing. So there's a little bit more detail that goes into a certified letter than what's discussed over a phone. So the certified letter he did not sign for, which stated he would not be eligible to reapply. It's actually for 3 years. That's in our rules and regulations, not 2. Not sure where he got 2 years from, but so just so you know, he did inquire, and I did reply back to him on that.
Okay.
So the next item I have is informational as well. Just to give you a quick snapshot of your summary of 2024 entry-level open hire testing. There were a number, we have no idea how many applications are handed out or downloaded. The Sheriff's Department hands out applications for people. We hand some out. We can track ours. But how many applications are downloaded off the internet? There's no way of tracking. I've asked IT about that, and that's the reply I got. But what we do know is that there were 54
Hey, John.
Yes, sir.
Hey, John, this is Jim. I'd like to make a comment here. We don't care how many got downloaded or delivered. What we care about is how many were put in, right? I mean, I wouldn't worry about that.
Overall,
I don't think that would add any value.
Overall, that is a true statement, but for statistical purposes, in the past, we were able to tell how many applications were handed out. But the number of applications that were returned were 54. The number of applicants
That's the important number.
The number of applicants to undergo the physical agility testing was 27. The number of applicants to pass the physical agility test was 20. The number of previously certified officers not required to undergo that physical agility test was 8. The number of applicants to fail the physical agility test was 7. The number of applicants to undergo the written test was 23. The number of applicants to pass the written examination was 13. The number of applicants to fail the written examination was 10. The number of applicants requested to be removed/stricken from the eligibility list was 4. And the number of applicants hired for the position of deputy sheriff was 5. So overall, you had 54 applications returned, and your return of hire was 5 out of that 54. So hopefully 2025.
So about 9%. So what that tells us, and the way this should be looked at, is that tells us that 9% of the people that applied for a job with the Berkeley County Deputy Sheriff received jobs as a deputy sheriff or however they came in. And that's the statistic that we need to be focused on with other counties, other agencies, or whatever, if we're going to investigate this to find out what their rate is. Then we find out if let's say, for example, they have a 20% return investment. Then we need to talk to them and find out, okay, what is it that you do differently that we do so we can increase that number? But to me, and I don't know how you other commissioners feel, but that's the most important number. That percentage of hires versus who applied. All those other numbers are kind of just, that just makes charts look pretty. But what we're looking at is how many people can we get in. If we have other counties and other areas that are bringing in more people and have a higher percentage, if they're tracking that, then those are the ones that we want to talk to and find out what they do differently in their recruiting that we're doing to bring people in. And what do you think about that, Steve and Dale?
Dale Buck, I'm going to agree that those numbers are kind of disappointing. We do.
Are you finished? Were you finished?
Yes.
Yeah. So the one thing that actually this is good information to have, but one thing that kind of sticks out to me is that we had 54 applicants and basically only 27 showed up to test. So,
Right.
I mean, could that be we're not giving enough information out at the beginning, or was it just a? And the other thing we need to do is compare this to other years, and I don't know that we have this data from other years.
I don't have the data for the past 4 years.
Right.
I have the data prior to that.
Yeah, once you get past 4 years in an economy, it's
Right.
kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, because we were testing 30 and 40 people prior to 2019, I think it was.
At a time.
Mhm.
So, I mean, yeah, actually, I think there's several things in there we need to look at, and you know, are we doing something wrong? At the beginning of this process at 2027, I mean, exactly half didn't even show up after they applied. So,
Yeah.
So, or maybe it's just they returned the application, so there was no real fear there. I mean,
Well, one of the issues and problems that's had in the government with what you just said is that 54 people applied and only 27 showed up. That it may have, how long did that process take before they applied and they got to start moving in? I mean, they may have got other jobs, and that's what happens a lot in the government because it takes extended amount of time.
yeah, that's true, especially in the economy around here. So,
Well, I can say that
Right.
that the timeline isn't that much from the date of a cutoff of an application. You're testing within 30 days. So
right, but somebody could apply it at the beginning of the process, and if that was 30 days prior to the close, and then another 30 days till they test, I mean, that's 60
Okay.
days to find another job. So,
okay.
I mean, I don't know that's the fact, but,
How about, I just have a question, and here's something haven't heard us talk a lot about, and Eric is in there, and he can weigh in on this, I'm sure, but what about recruiting from colleges? People that are studying, law enforcement in college. What about that type of recruitment? What about going to those places? And Eric, does the sheriff's department do something like that?
Yeah, Jim, we go ahead and do all that stuff as well. And we get the guard bases here too, and we try a whole bunch of different things. It's just a whole different society right now, that's all.
Yeah, well, I know it is. I'm just trying to think of different ways that, avenues or whatever we can look into to bring in more people.
We could get our pay up-
And yeah.
if we get our pay up about $5,000, that's the magic number. And we're gonna try for a $5,000 pay bump. Maybe that'll help. We got $10,000 sign-on bonus right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the pay bump will. I mean, you guys know. Well, you've heard this from me before. Is I think one of our problems is we're not paying these guys enough money. But also we can. If you pay more money, you can expect a little higher caliber people coming in. So.
Yep.
That's what and that is the bottom line.
Okay, so I do have a question because the one comment that I heard that while these numbers are pretty, they're not really relevant. Basically, do you all want me to keep track of these numbers? Because
Oh, yeah.
if not, I won't keep track of them if they don't serve a purpose. I like the work I do to be meaningful and serve a purpose. And if it's not serving a purpose, because it is time consuming.
Yeah. No, I like.
No, absolutely, John.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. Excuse me. Absolutely, John. I thank you for doing all of that work. But I do think that we do need to look at what is the value? How does this information? How is it going to add value? I certainly think there's value added in the things we spoke about, which is the amount of people that actually applied, as opposed to the amount of people we hired, and as well as the amount of people that showed up. I mean, those are two important things to track. But all the other things, even worrying about how many people actually took an application, I don't see how that can help us. Especially when you can't track it online, and you might be able to track paper ones, but all kinds of people could download them online. And somebody could put a bot out there and download 20 of them to make your numbers look better.
The one thing that this is it's a different method of distributing them now too. So that's different from where we used to have control and a controlled handout. So that was easy to track. But I would be interested in whether it's just an email after the test or whatever to find out why those 27 people didn't applied but never showed up. Just to maybe, it might help us fine tune our systems if, if it's too long a period or something like that, or they got another job.
Agreed.
I think, most of them probably aren't even going to respond, but it might be worth sending an email, and if 3 people respond, then it'd be good information to have. But so
The other thing,
I agree with you.
The other thing about it is, and I have in the annual report, strategic goals and objectives for 2025, and that definitely recruiting and doing more outreach, that is a huge part of those strategic goals and objectives. So there will be more coming about on that. The other thing is, keep in mind, we've only been advertising, and I got it, our number of 54 is up there as opposed to the actual number of 27 that's tested. But we need to get more applicants as well, because lately we've only been getting 4, 5, 6 people, and we're only advertising one time as it is right now in the Journal. And a small help wanted, and I mean very small help wanted, ad is $408.
yeah, I would venture to say we're getting next to nothing from the ad in the Journal.
I would venture to say you're right.
Word of mouth and social media is the only way to get. Maybe we need the sheriff to get a TikTok.
There you go.
Yeah, we do that.
I will say that the county.
We have a local radio station. We have a local radio station that a lot of people listen to. There's a lot of ways to advertise, but I would think that, like Eric said, sounds to me like the sheriff's department is doing a lot of that stuff already. I don't understand I'm with you guys on the newspaper. What are we spending, that kind of money for? But Steve is right. Social media is, for young people, man, that's it.
Well, and
somehow to get them blasted that way,
that's a conversation that Chief Burnett and I have had just as late as last night. Social media, a Facebook page, and Clerk Petrucci has agreed, if you all as commissioners want a Facebook page, he will give me the opportunity to work on it. So I can include that as part of my day and what have you.
Yeah.
So, but
Well, let's put that on our agenda for next month. We didn't have it on there this
Correct.
month, so we shouldn't vote on it. But
no, I agree. Okay.
Yeah, but that's a really, really good idea, and I think that's at least a good start to going in the right direction. I'll bring in more people.
Any other items from the floor? Any announcements?
Just our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, February 19th, 2025. As I always say, hopefully here in the commission chambers.
Find out on February 1st.
We will. Yes, sir.
All right. If there's no other business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Well, we need a motion first.
Okay, this is Dale Buck.
I'm sorry. I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
This is Jim.
And Dale will second.
Okay.
All
I
right.
hope this is the last time we have to have 2 of y'all on the phone.
Yeah. Sorry about it, guys. I can't
I
help it.
think.
All those in favor say aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned.
At 5:43 p.m.
Hope you feel better, Dale.
Hey, Dale, feel better, buddy.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm getting there. Thanks.
Take care, Jim.
All right,
And
man.
Dale.
All right, you guys take care too. We'll talk to you guys again.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for all you guys do. I know you guys do a lot of work. A lot of work.
It's. Thank you. Let's wait till we get off the video.